What's good, YouTube? It's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and welcome to another remake. Today we'll be switching it up a little bit, and we're gonna go pop from trap. We're gonna be remaking Lizzo's track Truth Hurts, so let's get straight to it. First things first, let's go ahead and set our tempo to 79 beats per minute. And we're gonna start off with the main piano sound that we hear throughout the entire record. And we're gonna bring in Steinway grand piano. And let's give ourselves a 2-bar loop, as that's the length of the chord, or sorry, of the pattern. And let's go ahead and draw that in right now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start on the C. And that essentially just repeats itself. All right, so let's get that sounding more like the one in the track itself. I'm just gonna go ahead and just raise up the volume here a little bit. And let's go ahead and close this up. We're gonna open up our EQ. I'm gonna go recall default here, and we're just gonna cut out a lot of the highs and a lot of the lows. So let's start with the lows. And now let's cut off some of the highs. All right, next let's go ahead and bring in a modulation effect chorus. So we're gonna go to modulation chorus, and we're gonna give it more of that feel or vibe that you heard in the track itself. Sort of sounds like a ragtime piano. Just gonna go ahead and increase the mix to 40%. All right, so we're gonna leave it at that. That is our piano. Let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And let's create that weird synth that we hear splash throughout the track. Let's go ahead and bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And we're gonna only use oscillator number 1. And then we're gonna go ahead and just close this up. We're just gonna draw in the pattern, and then we're gonna come back and manipulate that sound further. So it goes something like this. We're gonna go to a high octave. I'm just gonna go ahead and lower up the volume so it's not too loud. We're gonna get some gliding action here. All right, so it sounds nothing like it, but let's go ahead and get it sounding like the one in the track. We're gonna turn on legato, and we're gonna turn on unison. We're gonna turn up our glide to about 11 o'clock. And it kind of gives us that sound right there, almost. Kind of glides. Next, we're gonna go ahead and pull up our attack, so it's a little bit softer, not so plucky. I'll pull this up a little bit more. All right, so that's like that. Sounds good. Next, let's go ahead and open up an EQ. And we're going to cut out a lot of the lows once again. And then we're going to cut off a lot of the highs, or not too much of the highs, just a little bit, just to soften it up a little bit. All right, next let's go ahead and bring in a chorus instance once again. And we're going to just basically leave it on its default settings. Just gonna pull up the mix a little bit. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring in a reverb. We're gonna bring in Logic Space Designer, and we're gonna bring in a small space, a room, and we're gonna bring in a preset called Hard Ambience here. It's off my screen a little bit. And we're gonna put the dry all the way down and the wet value all the way up, and we get something like this. And you kind of get that sound like in the track. The reverb does it all. So we're gonna go ahead and lower this up a bit. My opinion, that sound kind of made the whole track, made it unique. All right, so that's good like that. Next, we're going to create a new softer instrument track. And we're going to bring in that swell effect that happens in the track. It's another weird sound, but it's like a swell to bring us from point A to point B in the song. So let's go ahead and open up our browser tool right over here. We're going to bring in a preset here. We're going to go to Synthesizer. We're going to go to Arrangement Effects, and we're going to go to Endless Riser right over here. And that just loads in a whole bunch of effects, and the sound pretty much sounded like the one from the track itself. So let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. It's going to happen at the end right over here. Just going to put that in. And we'll do that 1 octave higher. All right, so we're just going to repeat this like this. And then we're going to swell it in. And then because that's too loud, we're going to go ahead and automate this like in the track itself. So it's going to go something like this. We're just going to put a dot here at the end, another point there, and we're just going to drag it up like this. That's going to be a little bit too loud, so let's bring that down a little bit. All right, so that's good, right? Just like that. That's all we're going to do for that riser effect. So let's go ahead and arrange a little bit as we go here. We got the piano, and then we're going to get this weird sound here. Let's go and copy that over. We got that weird sound building in. Then it goes the piano again, and then just this weird sound. We're going to copy over the automation, and we're going to move over the piano. And then the piano, once again, is going to get moved over. We're going to stretch that over 8 bars. And then over here, we're going to go ahead and create a new softer instrument track. And we're going to start to bring in the drums. So let's go ahead and bring in Logic's EXS24 sampler instrument. And we're going to bring in the Lizzo Truth Hurts drum kit, make that nice and loud. And let's go ahead and draw in our snare to start with. Just going to go ahead and duplicate that over. Then at the end over here, we're just going to go ahead and put in another snare hit. And it goes something like that. Next, let's go ahead and bring in our kick drum. Just going to duplicate this pattern. Duplicate that once again. But for this last bar, it does switch up a little bit. We're gonna get 2 kick hits over here. Another one over there. All right, so there's our kick pattern. right, let's go ahead and duplicate this track, and let's go ahead and draw in our hi-hats. All right, we're just going to go ahead and go over to our brush tool, and we're going to draw in a 32 stutter hit here. I'm just going to repeat this. Ooh. Repeat that. Repeat that once again. We're going to take this, and then we're going to draw in another 30-second hit at the end here. And then we're just going to go ahead and repeat that. All right, next let's go ahead and draw in our open hats. Change this back to a pencil tool. Put that there. We have one there, and then we have one on the third bar as well. Third measure. All right, next let's go and create a new software instrument track. And we're going to bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And we're going to bring in that 808 preset we like to use, but we'll adjust it in a moment. Let's go ahead and just draw in the pattern itself. Go down to a nice low octave. Let's go ahead and duplicate that over. Let's go ahead and duplicate that over. And then this switches up as well. We're going to move this one over here. This one back up here. Back down. All right, let's go and open up our ES2, and we're going to make this, well, let's give ourselves the pattern back, and let's go ahead and manipulate this further. Add in some drive. We're going to make it less clicky. We're going to bring up the attack. Next, go ahead and open up our EQ, and just going to filter out a lot of the highs. And a little bit of distortion as well. All right, so there's our 808. Let's move along in the arrangement. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just copy over this over here. We're going to bring back this weird sound twice over. We're going to go ahead and create a new instance of this drum kit over here, and we're just going to put in our crash. Duplicate that over the 8 bars. Then we're gonna have the piano on its own. Then we're gonna duplicate that once again. So we're just gonna have the piano on its own. Then we're gonna go ahead and bring in all the drums. Just move that over to here. And then it's going to drop off here at the end. Just push this back. We're going to bring in this effect back over to here at the end. Copy that over. All right, so now we got to bring in a couple more drum elements. We're going to create a new softer, we're going to duplicate this drum kit. And we're going to bring in a clap that just happens in the background. Let's see here. This wasn't quite ended at the right spot. Let me just push this back. All right, let's go ahead and draw in that clap. It's going to be something like this. And then we're going to bring in another clap over here at the end. And it's going to sound something like this. Let's go ahead and draw on that pattern. Duplicate that over. Take that out. This comes back. Let's duplicate that. And then we drop into this over here. Alright, so that's pretty much the remake right there. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Listen to the remake we just put together. Lizzo, Truth Hurts. So that right there is the remake to Lizzo's Truth Hurts. For you Logic users out there, I'm going to go ahead and save this entire session for you guys. Place it as a downloadable link in the description box below this video. For you non-Logic users out there, got your back as well. I'm going to go and export all the MIDI stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit that you heard in this tutorial. You can find that entire playback in the description box below this video. That's it for me, guys. If you did like this video, remember to thumbs up, share it, and of course hit that subscribe button for more good videos like this one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Later. Peace.